So with that, love would take a huge deep breath and let it out. And love would pause and notice. Perhaps notice the stability of your sit bones on the earth. It might notice your belly and the strength of your core as you stack your vertebrae one atop the other. Love would probably reach the crown of your head to the sky and grow tall. And let your chest be light for a moment here. And take another huge deep breath. And exhale, let it out. Drop your shoulders. And close eyes if that's okay for you. I invite you to try flipping your palms open to the world in a receptive spot here for a few moments. And invite this question of what would love do today? How would it choose to move forward today? Would love do something nice for yourself? Would it enjoy some nature? Would it write a letter? Would it call a friend? Would it drop into what we say constant creative response? My invitation is that with your hands open, love probably wouldn't drop into fear and hopelessness and defeat. Love would be curious and get creative. Most of you who join me believe in love, but if love seems woo for this moment in time, or maybe just Pollyanna, remembering that it is an energized, active emotion. And love brings safety to your nervous system and to your neurochemical soup, such that when we feel safe and more grounded, we can show up in perpetual creative response. We can show up with intention, perhaps in the spirit of peace. Sometimes love takes action and sometimes love rests. And I do believe that love stays in the moment. Not always worrying about the future or regretting the past, but staying in the moment here, deciding what would feel best for you right here in the moment. Maybe it's simply to drop into yoga on your mat, in your space, and out of all of the noise of the world. You choose. Come back to the breath and use the breath to pour into the fingertips, the toes, the toenails, your belly, anything that feels tight. And pour the breath out. Let it flow. Flowing the breath in, undoing the clogs. And let it out. And maybe even let it out as if it's a horse's breath, that sort of fluffy, poppy noise. Not controlling the exhale. And pause here for a moment. Connect your sit bones into the earth. Drop into your body, being present, mind, body, spirit, all in the same place. And bring a hand to heart and another hand atop. And ask that question once again, what would love do in this moment? The answer will be different for all of us. And what might you need to add into it? What would love not do is also a helpful question for me. Love might choose to be angry, or love might be angry for a few minutes and move on. Love might choose to let go of some things, to grow some things, to notice other things. What would love pay attention to? What would love take responsibility for or take on in your life? And when would love pause? Pause to rest, pause to restore, pause to replete. And how might love connect with hope, possibility, opportunity? Taking in a few more deep breaths in whatever way feels good to your body, knowing that might be different for all of us. They might be long and smooth. They might be a huge lion's breath like exhale. They might be a horse's breath exhale. Play with it and notice what feels good to you. Remembering that one thing that love would always do is take good care of ourselves so we can show up as a healthier, kinder, calmer, more wise version of ourselves. Sitting with hopefully some more positive energy here for a moment, hand on hand, hand on heart, enjoying the oxytocin, enjoying the community here, even though we are near and far. Letting ourselves sit in that togetherness of like-minded humans. Potentially not feeling alone. And giving your body a moment to rest and relax and restore. A pause from the worrying and catastrophizing and all of that. Just a moment to be and a moment to enjoy. And we'll bring our hands together, creating a little bit of heat and warmth. And bring your thumbs to your sternum and fingers reach to the sky. Press your palms together with some energy and choice and agency, perhaps that loving energy, and elbows out wide, engaging your shoulders and your hands, each finger pressing against each other with some energy. And decide how you might like to move forward in this practice. What might feel good to you? What energy would you like to bring? What energy would love bring? Huge breath in and out. And when you're ready, you'll lower hands and open eyes and have a little shimmy, just releasing any tension. And you'll bring your right hand to the floor or the mat or your bolster. I'm going to make a fist today because that feels right. Punch it into the floor and reach your left arm up over that left ear. Stretch long, root your left hip downwards, bend your right elbow, and enjoy a stretch. Opening your rib cage, stretch your spine, wiggle fingers, breathe in. Exhale, letting go of whatever feels good to release. Press into that right fist and switch sides. Drop your left fist into the earth, pressing downward. Reach right arm over, bend your left elbow, and enjoy the right side. Create a little space for what you might like to bring in. Exhale, whatever you might like to let go. Breathing in and release. Reach up towards the sky. Open your arms out to the sides. Draw them back a wee bit. Pinch your scapula together. Notice if your shoulders have any kinks. Pinching the scapula, noticing the sensations. Wiggle fingers. Release your scapula and round forward. Huge beach ball. Suck your belly back. Enjoy the stretch. And open wide, arms like the Titanic, releasing that energy. Potentially close eyes here, let it feel good. And sweep around once again, huge circle, hugging in all the good stuff. Love would hold on to the good stuff. Notice the good stuff, embrace it, enjoy it. And open arms wide, heart shines forward. Pinch the scapula once again and release. Lower hands towards the floor and have a few snow angels. Letting go of any kinks anywhere. You can close eyes and just let your arms sweep. Enjoy it for a moment. Remember to breathe. You'll notice a little heat. And we'll bring our arms to the top, interlace them, Flip your palms up, have a shimmy, stretch as tall as you can. Exhale, round forward into that seated cat. Let your back feel amazing here. Let this moment on your mat be part of the good part of your day. Inhale, reach up and arch. Exhale, round forward. Do a few of these here. Let them feel good. Use your belly to protect your back. Always being kind. Love would not hurt yourself or overdo it. It would move with kindness and it would enjoy the stretch. Reach arms up to the top. Open your arms out and give yourself a huge hug, wrapping your fingers to the medial scapula. Lift your elbows up over your chest and squeeze tight. Have a little rock, release some oxytocin. Heaven knows we need a bit more of that right now. Let it feel good. It can be playful, it can be serious, you choose. You know what you need. Exhale, release. Drop chin to chest and enjoy your neck for a moment. Perhaps your back engages in different spots when you do this. Lift your chin back up to neutral, untangle. Stretch your hands long, wide. Spread your fingers wide. Create some energy. Pinch your scapula together. Release your scapula. Keep your fingers engaged. Lots of energy. Drop your chin to chest and let your neck have a moment. Bring chin back to neutral. Relax your hands and give yourself a huge hug in the opposite way. No judgment if your hands reach a totally different spot. Lift elbows up over your chest without judgment and squeeze. Have a rock or just a long, compassionate moment with yourself, whatever you need. Breathe long and deep. Let the oxytocin circulate. Counterbalancing that cortisol. Enjoy it for an extra moment. You can drop chin to chest or stay up. Do what feels good to you. Bring chin back to neutral and untangle your arms. Lower hands. Shoulders come up to the ears. Drop your occiput in. Squeeze tight. Lots of energy shifting. Perhaps squeeze your fists. Perhaps squeeze your face. Everything as tight as you can. Exhale, let it go. Melt. And enjoy all that transpires there. Huge breath, letting the good feelings circulate. Another big breath as some of the tightness melts. Send the oxygen there as a gift of kindness and love. You may find there's a lot of tension to melt right now. Let it go on the exhale. And you can stretch your legs in front. Take the bolster, block, whatever underneath you out, unless you're on a blanket, which you can then keep. And stretch your legs long in front. Move the flesh of your seat out of the way. Send your sit bones down. Feel steady. Flex your ankles, spread your toes. Engage your belly here. Tight. Grow your spine to the sky, one vertebrae atop the other. Heart is light. And you'll reach your arms out and up elegantly to the sky. Fun to move elegantly. And lower your hands towards toes, shins, knees, wherever they land. Round your back. Enjoy a moment here. Wiggle toes. Invite some shifts. Point your toes and flex your ankles. Point one toe, flex the other ankle, and switch sides. Do that a few times, shifting the energy, letting go of the stuck and the held and the tight. Come back to center. Slide down a little bit more, release your head and neck, have a little bit of a shimmy and see where you end up as you move forward. Recognizing that sometimes shaking things off allows something that feels good. Huge breath in, pour it into the back of the legs, the back of your lungs, every nook and cranny, every alveoli getting a little bit of fresh air. And long releases here, inviting with intention, letting go of the holding and the tightness and the worry. Another big breath. Use the breath to flush things out. sliding your hands up to your shins, to your knees. You're going to open your legs wide, come into a wide angle pose, find your sit bones once again, and have a rock here. Root your ischial spines downward, engage your belly, and sit up tall as you can. Let your ankles flex, toes flex. Slide your right hand down the right leg. Right elbow can bend, so you have lots of contact of that right arm. And reach your left arm over, root the left hip downward. Big breath in. Exhale, gaze over the left shoulder. Release and soften. Use the breath as sort of a flow. We've just had another lot of rain here, and the creeks everywhere are flowing, and the water has this kind of invitation to just let things move. That's what's supposed to happen. Inviting that flow and movement. Switch sides. Slide the left hand down, right hip roots downward, right arm reaches over. Enjoy the right hip, right waist. Big breath in. Gaze over the right shoulder if you can, if your neck is okay with it. And notice your left arm. Is it firm, or can you relax, bend the elbow, and create a little more space? Big breath in and out. Come back up to center. Find your root and grow as tall as you can. Twist leftward. Bring your left hand behind. Right hand comes to the left thigh. On the exhale, inhale, grow tall, everything engaged, standing tall and proud. Exhale, gaze over the left shoulder if you have any more room, and enjoy the twist. Let yourself enjoy it and feel good and sit tall and proud. Notice your strength and your stability. Give your innards a massage if you wish. Exhale, release and soften once again. Inhale, grow as tall as you can. Exhale, release. Inhale, both arms up to the sky. Exhale, twist back to center. Drop your shoulders. Inhale, grow tall, 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 as tall as you can. And twist to the right. Right hand comes behind you. Left hand to the outer right thigh. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, twist and enjoy. Inhale, grow tall once again. Exhale, ring it out. Once more. Inhale, grow a little taller. Sit a little more proudly. Notice all the strength and energy within. Exhale, massage your belly. Let it feel good. Release and soften. Reach arms up to the sky and come back to center. Lower your hands in front. Find your sit bones. Hinge at the waist, not rounding, and walk your hands forward. Enjoy the back of the legs here. Wiggle your fingers and palms lightly. Point toes and flex them. Walk hands another inch or two forward. Wrap your elbows towards the front and smidge farther forward. Point those toes. Flex your ankles, spread your toes wide. Enjoy the energy shift here. Slowly slide up. You'll bring your right ankle into your left inner thigh. Bring your right hand behind your right hip and lift up into wild thing and have a stretch. Enjoy it. Roll wrists. Huge breath in. Exhale, lower down. Slide your left hand down the left leg and reach your right arm over. Use your belly here. And we'll do that once more. Flow up into wild thing. And down to open up the right rib cage. And once more, because it's fun. Lifting up. And reach over. Come back to center. Reach that left arm up to the sky. Inhale, find your belly in your center. Root your sit bones down. Exhale, twist towards the left foot, and you'll wrap your right hand to the left outer calf or foot, and your right hand will wrap around into the right hip crease, coming into a twist, and drop your head and neck, release it, shake it out, let your neck undo, Breathe. With intention, breathe out what love would not hold on to. Pour the breath into any tight spots, sending fresh air, as I like to say. Wiggle toes, untwist, coming back to center, and do a wee counter twist. Your left hand to the right thigh, twist to the right, and come back to center, because love would even it out. Stretch your right leg long. Left foot comes into the right inner thigh. Bring your hand behind your left hip about 18 inches. Plant your left hand and reach that right arm up. Right toes come to the left, onto the left knee, and stretch into wild thing. Enjoy. Lower down onto your hip. Slide your hand down the right side and open the left rib cage. Coming back up to wild thing. Enjoy the flow and the movement for fun. And coming back down. Once again, reach over, and we'll do the third time to be kind to both sides. Coming back to center. Find your belly in the middle here. Root your sit bones down. You may be a little off kilter. Exhale, twist to the right and come into the twist here. It might look different. Your left hand's going to come into the right hip, and your right hand's going to come into the left hip. I forget what I said there. And left fingers to the outer right foot or calf, and release your neck with intention. Love would be kind to that neck. We carry so much tension in there, holding up our big, heavy, smart heads. Breathe. Gift your body some fresh air, whether it's the breath or actual fresh air outside. Nature lessens your cortisol. Feels good. It's something in this moment we can do. Love would spend time outside. Bring your right arm back, sliding up, and have a little twist just to undo. And come back to center. Coming into butterfly, and just enjoy a flapping of your wings. Find your center, have a rock. Potentially lower your knees towards the floor and let that feel like a release. Wrap your arms around your chest, sit up tall, close eyes, and have a big, delicious breath. Exhale, let it out. Release hands, and we'll stretch our legs long, come to hands and knees. And notice if your knees are narrower than your hips, and widen them a bit. And notice your hands, how they are. And just take a moment. Let this be a very strong and sturdy tabletop. Spread your fingers wide. Plant each finger pad into the floor, palms into the floor. Engage elbows, shoulders. And just notice for a moment, everything engaged. And notice your neck. Is it arched? Is it flat? Let it feel good. Huge breath in and engage that belly. Stretch your right leg long. Pause. Exhale. Inhale, lift it up a little below hip height and pause. Next breath, reach your left arm long. Reaching long in both directions, balancing. And notice your center. Notice your steadiness. Enjoy feeling stable. Roll wrists and ankles. Bend your right knee. If you wish, you can bring your left hand around and have a little stretch of the thigh. It might feel good. Draw your left shoulder back, and you can gaze up if you wish, or you can stay long. You choose. Do what feels good to you. Release. Bring that arm long in front. Come back to the balanced pose here. Press your heel, balancing. Lower your toes to the floor. Lower your left hand to the floor. Drop your right heel to the floor, and you'll reach that right arm up and have a circle in all directions, being kind to your potentially tight shoulders. I might have a few of those today. Reach the right arm to the sky, reach it over your right ear, root your left knee into the floor, top of the left foot into the floor, and come to a balance. See if you want to raise your right leg to the sky, stretch long, enjoy it. If you wish, you can bend and balance here. It feels good. Release. And we will lower our foot, lower our hands, bend knees. Come back into child's pose. Draw your hips back and your hands as far forward as you can. I saw this New Yorker cartoon, and the husband or partner came in and said the woman was on the floor in child's pose. And he was checking on her because she had been there for 6 hours, wondering if she was okay. So let her feel good. This might be a time in history for more child's pose. Love might spend some more time here. Send the breath wherever it needs to go. See if you need to widen your knees, sink your hips down, walk your fingers long, release your back. Huge breaths in. Take a moment to regroup. And a moment to ask that question, what would love do? And also, what would love not do? Sometimes we don't know what it would do, but we do know what it would not do. Let both of those guide you. And when you feel complete enough, come back to hands and knees. Notice your knees. Let your knees be hip height. Notice your hands. Stretch your left leg long. Inhale, lift up to hip height and pause. Find steady. Notice you can find steady with one leg in the air. And when you're ready, reach the left arm long and find steady here. Find your center. Notice that even with one arm and one leg in the air, you can feel centered. That centeredness is within. If you wish to bend your knee and grab your toes or your ankle and enjoy a stretch and open your right shoulder, you can do that. Gaze over the right. Let it feel good. Reach your arm back in front, leg back in front. Pause and center. Square your hips. Find centered once again. And you'll lower your right hand and left toe. Drop your left heel to the earth and sweep that arm around in all 3 times in one direction and 3 times in the other. Release your shoulder. Pause at the top. Reach the arm over the left ear and raise your left foot if you wish. Come to the balance. Wiggle fingers and toes. And if you wish, bring your left hand to grab the left foot and enjoy a stretch. Be kind to your shoulder here. Draw your shoulder back. Let it feel good. Enjoy the release. Let go of whatever you might like to let go of here. Use the breath. Notice if you're holding your breath. When we feel stressed, we tend to hold our breath. Release the breath on purpose. And in a day when you feel tight, breathe. Release both hands. Come back to tabletop. Have a moment in child's pose once again. Release your back, release any tension. And we will come back up to tabletop and slide right forward into Sphinx pose. Belly reaches down into the earth. Front of the hips reach down, palms on the floor, forearms on the floor, heart shines forward. Notice your toes and take the tops of your feet off the earth and curl your toes. So you can see different things happen here. Spread your fingers wide and untuck your toes. Plant the tops of your feet on the floor. Tiny little shifts can feel good. Do different things. Take a moment here in Sphinx to let your heart shine forward. Close eyes and drop into your belly. Drop into your hips, and the knowing when you're on this side of your body, which we aren't usually on. Take 3 long breaths, pour it everywhere it might like to go. Lower down towards the floor. You'll bring your hands one atop the other as a pillow. Drop your head, release your back here for a moment. You might even just bounce the tops of your feet on the floor. Take a moment. Love would probably take lots of moments in the world right now. Curl your toes, press into your hands. Slide back to child's pose for a moment. As you shift your hips back, flatten, untuck your toes, and release the back. Something we always do after Sphinx. Walk hands to the left. Take a moment here. And all the way to the right. Come back to center. Shift up to hands and knees. And we'll come to downward dog. Take a moment if you need to organize yourself. And lift up. And enjoy it here. Gaze at the view between your legs. See what you can see. Walk the dog. Enjoy the backs of the legs. Bend one knee and then the other. Shoot your sit bones to the sky. Lower forehead to the floor. Breathe. Notice what happens as you're upside down a little longer. What do you notice? What do you feel? Anything in your perspective shift or feel different? Take a moment to plant your hands and find a good spot. You will ground the ball of your right foot into the earth. Raise your left leg to the sky. Come into 3-legged dog. Press your heel into the back wall. Everything engaged, hips square. Bend your left knee and stack your hips. Roll your ankle. Release your neck here in all directions. Re-square your hip. Extend your leg. Gently breathe and put your foot between your hands. We're going to come to Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Bring your hands to your hips and slide your back knee back. Be kind to that back knee. Don't be on top of it. If you need a blanket, grab that. Let it slide even a little bit further. Tuck your left hip back and your right hip forward. Pause and breathe. Hands rest lightly on the thigh for now. Lift up your front 5 toes and lower them down. Readjust your foot. Find steady. Gaze is straight forward. Notice your neck, what's happening there. And you can reach both arms up towards the sky if you wish. Drop your shoulders. Reach your fingers to the sky once again. Drop shoulders once again. Lower your left hand by your left hip and gently reach your right fingers a smidge to the left and notice, sending some kindness and love and permission to let go whatever you might be gripping onto into the right hip flexor. Come back to center. Reach both arms to center. Lower your hands to the floor, maybe fists today. Curl your back toes and lift up to a high lunge. Walk your right foot a little wider for steady. And pause here. Sink into that front knee. Notice if your front knee is extending beyond your ankle. Straight that front knee if you can, coming into a long triangle and bend and straight and bend. Notice it's awkward and you can still move a little bit here. And bend. Pause in the high lunge. Find steady in your feet, always taking a moment before you move forward. And you'll slowly walk up your left thigh, coming to that high lunge. Reach arms to the sky. Reach your arms out and reclasp them at your sacrum. Interlace fingers, shoulders down and back. Open your heart space. Let your heart see, shine forward. Drop chin to chest. It might be tippy. And take a moment here for the breath. Bring chin back to your chest. Release your hands. Bring your hands to heart center. Press the thumbs into the sternum. Straight your front knee. And bend it. And straight. And bend. Bend deep if you can into that low lunge. You'll notice a little shaking in that front leg. Once again, straight. And bend. Take a moment here. Find steady. Hop your back foot forward a footprint or two. We're going to shift forward to fly because why not? Ground and root your left leg into the floor or the tree trunk, and you'll raise your right leg up a little bit. Doesn't have to be all the way. Notice how you feel. Find steady. You can reach your arms out or leave them hand to heart. Supporting yourself if that's what love would do, or you may want to reach them long in front. You choose. Bring hands back to heart center. Drop your back foot, lower the heel, cartwheel arms open to warrior two. Find steady. Gaze over the left middle finger, that drishti. Taking a moment to let the drishti be what love would do or what love would not do. Gaze out over that finger and consider the options. Breathe and enjoy. Flip the front palm up. Right hand slides down the right thigh into reverse warrior, elegant warrior. Let it feel good. Straight your front knee and bend. Pause here and breathe. Cartwheel arms back to warrior two. Bend your left elbow, reach right arm over to side angle. Enjoy it for a moment here. Turn towards the floor. Both hands come to the floor. Turn both toes to the front. And you'll hop your back foot forward to meet the front foot. Come into a forward fold. Bend your knees, elbows, sway. Let it feel good. Take a moment here and pause. Lower your hands to the floor here. Can be fists. And you'll bring your left leg back. Come into the low lunge on this side directly. Get off of that back knee. Rise up. Hands come to the right thigh. You'll tack your right hip back and your left hip forward. Stand tall here in this low lunge, if you want to call it standing. Heart shines forward, crown of the head reaches to the sky. Find steady. Breathe and take a moment here. Close your eyes if you can. Invite that left hip to melt. Open eyes. If you wish, raise your arms to the sky. Let it feel good. Lower your right hand to your right hip and reach the left fingers over. Enjoy a little extra stretch. Reach both arms up to the sky. Pause and breathe. Noticing that even when you feel under strain and stress, you can soften in. Use the breath, always available to you. Love would definitely use it. Lower hands to the floor, fists down, curl the back toes, come to that high lunge, and pause here for a moment, potentially widen your feet. Let yourself settle into something comfortable. Straight the front knee and bend. Straight the front knee and bend. And we'll do one more long triangle here. Oh, or a long pyramid, sorry. And bend the front knee. Pause here, find steady. And when you feel steady, walk your hands up the right thigh, coming into the high lunge. Take a moment here, reach arms to the sky. Open them out, reclasp them at your sacrum. Interlace fingers, drop your fists, drop your chin to your chest. Take a moment. Use all your resources, your toes, the soles of your feet, your belly, your breath to balance. Release your hands, bring them to heart center. Straight your front knee and bend and straight and bend. And when you bend a little farther than you might, a little edge to it. And see that you can do it. Bend and straight once more. Pause, bent. Hop your back foot forward a foot or two. Hands press into the chest, the sternum for balance. And you'll shift your weight forward, raise your back leg, and come to fly in whatever way feels good. Hands can stay heart center. Some days you need the support, want the support, feels good. Or reach your arms long or Superman, you choose. Whatever feels right to you and your shoulders. Bring your hands back to heart center. Lower your foot back to the high lunge. You'll drop your left heel to the right, cartwheel arms open. Come to warrior two. Gaze over that right middle finger, your drishti. And think about your intention. Where are you headed? What energy would you like to move forward with? Would you like to move forward with hope, love, fear, creativity? For some of us, it's perseverance or determination. But what might be sustainable? What might be kind and loving to yourself? That could be. You choose. And maybe you want to move forward with anger. You get to do whatever you want. Reach your right palm to the sky and tip back to peaceful, humble, elegant warrior, whatever feels good to you. Graceful. We should call it loving warrior. You choose. Straight that front knee and bend and straight. Tilt your right hand back a little more. Enjoy the stretch. Bend the front knee, coming back to the graceful, elegant version. Steady your feet. Cartwheel your arms back to warrior two. Bend right elbow, reach over to side angle. Enjoy the waist, the outer edge of the left foot. Find steady. Cartwheel your hands back to either side of your foot. Bring the feet back to high lunge. Hop your back foot forward in 2 hops to meet the front foot. Widen your feet, and we're going to come to a yogi squat. Knees apart, heels together, hands to heart center. Knees come into the elbows, thumbs come into your sternum, and hang out here. Close eyes and tap into that deep inner wisdom. The root chakra, the sacral, and the solar areas. That's where the wisdom, the creativity, the authenticity, the love, all that stuff. What wisdom is there? What would love do? What would love not do? If you wish, plant your right fist on the earth, twist to the left, left arm reaches high. Come back to center and twist to the opposite side. Left fist to the floor, right arm to the sky, gaze up, roll your wrist, and come back to center. Elbows to the knees, palms together, thumbs to your sternum. Sink in for one more moment, close eyes, pause and listen. What might love do moving forward? And what might love not do? Lower hands, turn your toes to the front, heels straight back. Come into a release of a forward fold. Let it go. Shake your head, release your toes, bend your knees a little, engage belly, and roll up to stand. Arms come out and open. Palms come together, drip them to heart center. And take a moment standing. Let things reorganize. Notice how you feel. Letting things slow right here. Letting things resettle. Eyes can be open or closed. Drop into your body here and listen. Standing. Is there different wisdom here than there was on your belly, than there was upside down in downward dog, than there was in yogi squat? We put ourselves in these different positions in yoga for different perspective, different learnings, different connection to the wisdom of your body, the wisdom of your cells. Lower hands and open your eyes and readjust. Let the light in, and we will come to lie on your back on the floor, but take your time to get there. Bend knees when you arrive, being super kind to your back. Ankles and feet in line with your hips, hips width, we say. Untuck everything. Notice how you feel. Notice soles of the feet on the earth, sacrum on the feet, on the earth, the palms on the earth, occiput on the earth. Close eyes and gather wisdom here. What do you know? What does your body know? What does the earth have to say underneath you? The earth has seen a lot, continues on steadily. Wiggle fingers and toes, release any tightness. Hug knees into your chest, wrap your hands, give them a hug, massage your back. Enjoy going all the way to the edge without tipping or maybe tipping. Remembering all these options for a self-massage. If it's fun, come into happy baby. Knees come to the floor, soles of the feet reach to the sky. Wiggle toes. Enjoy the hip opener. Perhaps have a rock here. The massage is different. You can also bring soles of the feet together, bring the heels towards your groin, and enjoy that release. Take some time in all of them, whatever feels good or doesn't. Huge breath in and out. Release your hands. Lower your feet to the floor, hand to heart, hand to belly. Come to Supta Baddha Konasana, reclining butterfly. Breathe here. Let it feel amazing here. And take a listen for any wisdom, guidance. Ask this question, what would love do? And notice if your answers come from your heart or your belly. We're all different. Bring your hands to your outer thighs. Draw your knees together. Walk your feet to the outer edge of the mat. Bring arms overhead. Drop knees to the right. Left knee is going to reach towards the front right corner of the mat. Release your back, your hip. Let it feel amazing. You can stay here a long time and the other side a long time, or windshield wiper. Notice what feels better to you. You can bring your knees back to center. Be sure to untangle your shoulders and drop to the left. And notice if you want to wiper or hold, you choose. Every day is different. And let the breath be whatever it needs to be. I have a lot of horses' breaths in there this morning, apparently. Interesting. I'm going to show up curiously. Come back to center wherever you are. Widen your feet to hips width. Knees apart. Bring your hands by your hips. Walk your heels towards you. Lift up into a bridge. Undo your back. Reach your hips as high as you can. Lift high. Let it be a huge stretch. Lift up onto your tippy toes. Reach your hips as high as you can. Let your heart be light. Give it some space to fill. Lift higher, even higher. Lower heels. Tiny little micro shifts, subtle significance. Lifting hips higher. Engaging fingers. You can grab the edge of your mat, tug it towards your heels if you want to go a little bit more. Untuck, release, unroll one vertebrae at a time until you land on the earth. And pause for a moment. Untuck everything. We're going to come into Shavasana from here, but take a moment before you do. Maybe you need a knees to chest and rock. Maybe you need another windshield wiper. Maybe you need socks and a blanket. Do what you need wherever you are. An invitation to play, bring a little lightness, and take a listen. What is needed? What would love do here? And when you feel ready, make your way to Shavasana, lying on the earth, taking a break, letting go of all of the things that you're holding, letting your mats and the earth beneath you hold you. I invite you to try palms open to the sky. If that's too much for this moment in time, potentially a hand to heart, hand to belly. If Supta Baddha Konasana feels like your Shavasana, do that, which is soles of the feet together, knees apart. Ask yourself, what kind of Shavasana would love do? And how would love drop in? Maybe you need a squeeze of everything before you let things go. A huge deep breath. Exhale. And relax in to Shavasana. You can stay here as long as you need. Ask yourself in this moment, would love stay longer? Or would love gently begin to deepen your breath? Let your body guide you. If you're choosing to come out with me, wiggle fingers and toes. Enjoy an absolutely amazing stretch. Gift yourself a moment of pleasure, stretch, enjoyment, replenishment, enjoying whatever feels good in this moment as a stretch. and make your way to a seat. When you arrive, drop in. Notice the sit bones on the earth. You can cross your feet in whatever way feels good. Stretch legs long or cross-legged, you choose. Bring a hand to heart and another hand atop. Check in. Sending yourself some love and kindness and compassion. And sending all humans everywhere love, kindness, and compassion. And I will put out there into the world that I hope all of us will move forward with love. Making decisions from a place of love rather than fear and anger. Asking ourselves what love would do. Pausing to hear the response rather than reacting. Letting this activated, energizing, all positive, warm, welcoming, and caring emotion lead the way in this moment in time. Thank you all so much for practicing with me this morning. The light and love in me shines and reflects the light in each and every one of you. May we all move forward from a place of love. Have a beautiful week ahead. Namaste.